Sri R.K. Singh, General Manager, Postal Accounts and Finance, West Bengal Circle, Professor Dr. Sumandra Bose, Executive Director, Yadaji Research Bureau, Sri Ashok Kumar, Chief Postmaster General, West Bengal Circle, Padma Shri Awardee, Srimati Mamata Shankar, eminent actors and dancers, Sri Rajesh Kumar Bagri, Secretary General, Philately Congress of India, Sri Madhukar Jagavanga, President-elect, Philately Congress of India, my very dear colleagues from the Postal Department, and my dear students. I am delighted to be here for a variety of reasons. First of all, I see my mother here. My mother left us for heavenly abode a few decades back, but I can feel her presence here. My dear mother was a post mistress. Whenever there is a meeting at the postal department, I feel it is homecoming for me. Today, what prompted me to declare the Padma Awards, it's not the Padma Shri as our honorable guest has received it. This Padma is my own mother, Padmavati. My mother was not only a postmistress, she was also a philatelist. In fact, speaking about post offices, I grew up in the background of the post office. I can legitimately claim I have an umbilical relation with the postal department through my mother, and which I have been keeping up throughout my career. Even now, the most respected person in our household in the Rajbhavan is a postman. That is a relation. In the lighter vein, I remember we had a postal inspector who was very close to me, very learned person. His wife was a school teacher. This postal inspector, he was a rationalist. He doesn't believe in God. He believes in Darwin's theory of evolution. But the wife, the teacher, she is very God-fearing. They are very, very close couple. Always they are seen together. Their affection is very well famous in the village. But one day, the child asked the mother, Mummy, you tell me that children come from God. But Papa tells me that children come from monkeys, theory of evolution. Which is correct? The mother said, both are correct. Papa is speaking about his family, I am speaking about my family. So this is something which always gets into my mind when I speak about post offices, incidents like this. You know, I, as governor, used to be called upon to speak on various occasions on topics on which I have no mastery. But there is one topic which I can legitimately claim to have some authority because I lived through the post office and living through the post office. So, when I said about speaking about things over which I have no control, I remember a discomfiture which I had a few years back when I was an IAS officer. So I was military culture secretary. We decided to have a leading cultural function in the capital of India, Delhi. Vigyan Bhavan was chosen as a venue for the cultural function project, the cultural dominance of Kerala in Delhi. Somebody told us, the police commissioner told us, sir, some students' union will enter the hall and create some problems for political reasons. So we decided to regulate entry through passes issued by the police commissioner, security passes. To check the passes, we appointed plainclothes policemen at the gate, not volunteers. Plainclothes policemen in Mufti. First, there came Amitabh Bachchan, The policeman asked for the pass. Amitabh ji had forgotten to take the pass. But people said this is Amitabh Bachchan who is going to be honored today. But the policeman said, I want the pass. Then they said, no, he has forgotten to take the pass, he told you. Then the policeman said, what is the proof that he is Amitabh Bachchan? So Amitabh Bachchan said to dialogue from Diva, proof enough, he was selected. Then came Amjad Ali Khan, pass, no pass. Proof, he played on the sarod, proof enough, he was selected. Then came K.J. Yeshudas, the singer, no pass, proof was asked for. Yeshudas sang a song, proof enough, he was also selected. I did not know any of these. I suddenly came to the auditorium in a white ambassador car with a red beacon light. At that time, anybody could use the beacon light. I suddenly barged into the hall. The policeman stopped me. He said, sir, pass. The typical IAS arrogance, I told him, pass? For me? Sir, everybody should have a pass. I am the culture secretary. How dare you ask me for a pass? The policeman told me politely, sir, I did not deny that you are the culture secretary, but a pass is required, otherwise proof is required. I got wild again. Pass, proof for me, the culture secretary. Then he told me, sir, it's not like that. Amitabh Bachchan came here, Amjad Ali Khan came here, Yeshudas came here. They did not have a pass, but they gave proof. I again got wild. Amitabh Bachchan, Amjad Ali Khan, Yeshudas, who are these guys? Typical IAS arrogance. Then the policeman said, sir, you do not know these people? Why should I know them? Then the policeman said, no more proof is required. You are the culture secretary. Normally, I do not like reading your speeches. I am not used to that. But today, I have a reason to read out my speech because when the Chief Postmaster General Ashok invited me to come for this, suddenly it cropped up in my mind. See, postal, he told me that India Post has more than 1.5 lakh branches, isn't it right? 1,65,000, see? And also, each post office on an average caters to 7,000 people, 22 square kilometer area. So that is the world's largest network of post offices, am I right? Yes. In that case, I thought, since my mother was a post mistress, I should write a book on India Post. I gladly tell you here, I have completed the book on India Post. One chapter in the book happens to be on philately. Therefore, deviating from my normal practice, kindly permit me to read out a portion of the book, only a very small portion. That is about philately. My mother loved stamps. She loved their colors. She loved their designs. She loved their stories. She said stamps were not pieces of paper. She said stamps were history in small form. She said stamps were art that anyone could hold in hand. She wanted her children to love stamps too. She told us to collect them. She gave us old envelopes. She showed us how to soak stamps in water. She showed us how to dry them. She showed us how to keep them flat. She showed us how to paste them into an album. My first stamp was from Ceylon. It had a picture of a king, I don't know which king. It was green in color. I remember the smell of wet paper when I soaked it. I remember the thrill when I placed it in the album. It was a small thing, but for me, it was a treasure. My brothers too started collecting. We compared our stamps, we argued, we traded, sometimes we fought, but more often we shared. We felt proud of each new piece of stamp. My mother guided us. She said, do not spoil the edges, do not paste carelessly. Each stamp must be respected. She gave us envelopes from the office. She gave us stamps from friends. She built our interest slowly. Our village had two men who were experts in stamp collection. They were not officials, they were not teachers, but they loved philately. They had large albums, they had knowledge, they had patience. We often visited them. We carried our small albums. We showed them our few stamps, new stamps. They showed us hundreds. They explained. They said, this is one which is rare. This one is from another colony. This one is first issue. Our collection grew. We collected Indian stamps. We collected foreign stamps. Some came in letters from the relatives. Some came from friends. Some came in exchanges. One stamp told us about Gandhi. Another told us about Nehru. Another told us about the Himalayas. Another told us about dams. Another told us about satellites. A stamp which was on the Himalayas. Our local teacher told me something which I still remember. You know, I was in the IAS, we all are in the IAS Academy in Missouri. For 8 years I was there as a teacher and also as a trainee. I thought the Himalaya is nothing but a geographical phenomenon, isn't it? But what Kalidasa said, Astyuttarasyam Deshi Devadatma, about Himalayas. Astyuttarasyam Deshi Devadatma, Himalayo Nama Nagathi Raja, Purvavaro Toyam Nithivagakya, Sthita Pradibhyam Eva Manadanda. See, like a measuring rod lies between two oceans, the mighty god Himalaya. That is called esemplastic imagination. This is something which I explained when I saw a stamp on the Himalayas. The stamp is a great teacher. Throw away your books and come with me to nature. Nature is a great teacher, said William Wordsworth. A stamp also shows us the same way. My access to Kalidasa was through a stamp. Yes, a stamp is a great teacher. The two experts in our village, they became my mentors. They corrected our errors, they praised our effort, they gave us rare pieces when they saw our seriousness. They told us stories about famous philatelists. They made us dream. Another time, they showed us a cover from the time of independence. I think it was presented here also, the tricolor, the first stamp which India, yes. Thank you so much. See, you are connecting me to my childhood days. I said it's right there. As Chief Vice Master Ashok has given it, it's a small world. You all stand connected. Stamp connects people. Did you know that? A stamp connects people of ages together. At another time, they showed us a cover from the time of independence. It had the first Indian stamps. It had the tricolor. It was history in hand. It gave us gooseberry. Our mother watched us. She smiled. She was happy that her sons were learning. She was happy that her hobby became ours too. Years passed. Our albums grew thick. They carried our childhood in them. They carried our dreams in them. Philately also gave me lessons for later life. It taught me patience. You know, I need a lot of patience in my job as governor. Stamps taught me patience, yes. It taught me detail. It taught me that small things can hold big meaning. It taught me that culture can hide in simple forms. My mother's legacy continues through this. She taught me to love stamps. She taught me to love knowledge. She taught me to share with others. When I open an old album, I still feel my mother's presence there. I see her hand guiding me. I hear her voice teaching me. I feel her spirit in each page. Yes, my mother knew very much stamp collection. She lived this. She passed it on to us. And, you know, especially in history, stamps give us curiosity. Stamps expose us to history. I remember about the story which was told by the local postmaster who came after my mother. When a stamp had Chandragupta Maurya in that, then he told me, Chandragupta Maurya learned the lessons of warfare, not from the Indian military school, not from the Santhas Academy, not from North Point. He drew the military strategy from the widow's kitchen. You know, this is the rest is history. In the battle, the young prince was routed. He ran away from the battlefield along with his guru. They sought asylum in the widow's kitchen. The widow was making bread. The guru told the young prince, Look at that lady making bread. If you want to eat bread, don't start from the middle. You will burn your tongue, it is very hot there. Start from the edges. Taking a cue from this, the young prince routed in battle goes back to the battlefield, attacks the enemy from the rear, wins the battle, establishes an empire. Chandragupta Maurya and Chanakya are part of history. Chandragupta Maurya, who is there on the stamp, he learned the art of warfare not from military academy, but from the widow's kitchen. That is what the stamp teaches us. The stamp teaches me what Einstein said. Education is what remains once you forget what you learned in the school, right? Education is what remains once you forget what you learned in the school. Philately was not only a childhood hobby, it was also a teacher. It shaped us how I saw the world. It shaped how I later saw my work as an officer. Yes, when I became an officer, this knowledge helped me. I valued heritage, I valued culture, I valued memory. I tried to protect them, I tried to promote them, I tried to make them part of governance. Now, the great saga of philately is something which has to be seen to be believed. It is not just stamp collections, much more than that. My mother once explained to me that philately, the art and study of postage stamps and postal history. It began in 1840 with the release of the penny black in Britain, the first adhesive stamp that transformed communication and gave rise to a new form of collecting and quickly spread across Europe and then to the rest of the world. From the middle of the 19th century, the practice expanded rapidly as stamps were issued by countries and colonies to mark authority. Yes, we have the most famous stamp, the British Guinea 1C Magneta, which has been bought and sold by some of the greatest philatelists in history. You know, we have great men like Philippe Ferrari, the French collector, whose vast assemblage of rarities, including the Guyana and other priceless pieces, was unmatched. We have the Liechtenstein and United States, Alfred Liechtenstein of the United States, who along with his daughter Louis Dale set standards for scholarly collections. And we have Arthur Hind, we remember them with the pride now, Arthur Hind, another American magnate who competed with the Ferrari in securing the rarest stamps of the world. You know, King George V of Britain, he is known as the king of philatelists. He built the Royal Philately Collection that still remains one of the most prestigious holdings even now. Then we have the Raymond Weil of New Orleans, Charles Lathrop Park of USA, so many great men who have been exponents and proponents of philately collection. And we have the blockchain-based stamps and crypto stamps, pioneered in Austria and later adopted in other nations, which combine physical and digital ownership. Now you know, philately has become all over the world. We have the Olympics of philately, we have the World Stamp Championship that crowns a single champion in each edition, the historic London International Stamp Exhibition that continues Britain's deep philatelic tradition, Monacoville in Monaco, under the patronage of Prince Albert II, the American Philatelic Society's stamp show. There are so many great events related to philately. We all honor all the great men who have cherished this dream and also built it up to the present level. I do not want to take more of your time. Thank you very much. Wish you the very best. God bless you.